Well, here I am. We drove to the town where our cabin is, and I am fuming. There's a mom and pop style restaurant here, and I wanted to order a Reuben. First of all, we've got new owners to this mom and pop restaurant. I'm not going to name any names because I just don't believe in that. But I will tell you what I do believe in. I believe in not letting people just take advantage of others. And this restaurant has had a little bit better food, just a little bit. So I opened up the menu. First time we've been here for 6 months. Well, opened up the menu. I thought, oh, Reuben sounds nice. Okay, Reuben, $14.99. I can do that. So then I notice on the menu that it comes with potato chips. What a cheap, you-know-what fashion to serve food. That alone speaks volumes over the person who is creating the menu. So then I see if I want fries, I have to add $7.99. $14.99, $7.99. So then I also, if I want salad bar, then it's $3.99. $3.99, $7.99, and $14.99. Okay, I hope you've got your calculators out. I am fuming. You know why? Because this is a quaint, nice town. And there shouldn't be anybody charging like that when you walk in and the place looks disgusting. It's mom and pop style. It is so outdated. It looks like it's still in 1960. And they can't do anything for you but give you a glass of water. And, you know, all of those numbers, are you ready? Did you do your calculator? Okay, all of the numbers we're talking about. I'm trying to hold the phone still, but I'm fuming. Okay, it was $14.99, $3.99, and $7.99. Okay, as of right now, we're talking about, I believe it was $27. I did not even order a drink yet. Plus, as you can see, I'm a senior. So what? Big deal. You know, who cares about seniors? I'm being facetious. So anyway, I asked the waitress, this poor girl, I love her to death. I asked her, I said, am I reading this right? She said, yeah. I said, what? I said, this town is full of nothing but retirees? People that are struggling probably on Social Security because they've worked all their life and they paid their taxes. And now if they want to go out to eat and have a decent meal, you know, it's like pulling teeth. So anyway, I know I put her in the middle of it, but she understood because she knows me well. This is the same gal that I went to bat. And there was a huge man, I'm only 4'9", huge man that came in and just read her the riot act that he wanted to order a pizza and she should give him her full attention and blah, blah, blah. Well, I stepped in and told him, how dare you talk to people that way? Well, she, this happened last year and she remembered me. So she understands where I'm coming from. And, I love gauging things to where I want to make sure I'm looking through a window instead of looking in the mirror. Am I causing the problem, or is somebody else and I'm just looking at it? I'm viewing it. I'm assessing it, as well as I'm using my brain about it. Like, how would I feel Could I go to bed and sleep at night if I'm doing that to people? So anyway, make a long story short, she understood where I was coming from, and she appreciated that I'm one big mouth looking out for the retirees around here. There is a factory where most of the people have had their jobs and worked at it. But you know what? That factory isn't up to snuff for being on scale for the economy and whatever. It's good money considering what area this place is, but it's not good money. So, make a long story short, I threw absolute conniption to the waitress, kind of in a silent way, and she understood. But you know what? I don't understand. Where is this owner? Where is he? How can he sit down and eat with a clear conscience if he's going to do this to people? I don't understand. Is this what God wants out of us? I don't get it. And I'll tell you what, where is our respect for the older people who I have such an honorable respect for? They've worked their tushes off for us. They've built this city. They've built the town. They built the county. They built the land. And you know what? We are reaping that reward. And what do? We slap them in the face and say, no, there's no way you can eat without emptying all your pockets. And I looked up for one of the very notorious steakhouses in our state, which they're all over the state. And do you realize, and the places are always beautiful, well kept, but do you realize that I gotta let my husband in the truck? I looked up their prime rib dinner, and it was basically the same price as what a Reuben would cost me if I wanted fries. And, I just couldn't believe it. And salad, which, all of the sides would come automatically with that prime rib. So anyway, make a long story short, I'm disgusted with how the older people are being treated. And how about the younger kids? How about the ones that are living in the basements of mom and dad because they have no jobs? They have no will to work. Okay, so what does that mean? That means you middle generation, you're the ones that are going to be wearing the black eye soon. Because sooner or later, we're gone. We're gone. Or we got smarter and we refused to pay those prices. So now it's all on you. And you know what? This is why God says it is a vicious cycle once you start abusing people, taking advantage of them, or downright going against them being decent human beings. And right now, it's a good time to really stop and think, how are we treating each other? Are we trying to rob you blind and we don't care if you ever show your face around us again? Or are we treating you kind to where we do care if we see you again? Because we care. So, okay, this is just a rant. I'm in my husband's truck right now, ranting so nobody can hear me. And I thought I would share it with you. And so leave a comment, hit like, share it, whatever you want. But like I said, for those of you who know where our cabin is located, you'll be able to figure out exactly what restaurant it is. So beware. This is not what God wants out of us. Yeah, if we are doing that to people, think about it. That's theft. That is theft. And not only that, How many people have ordered off that menu without looking at the prices, and then when the bill comes, they're too embarrassed to say they can't pay? So they're dipping into money that's supposed to pay a bill. Think about this. Does that restaurant care? No. Tomorrow's Sunday, people. You would not believe how loaded this place is after church. Totally loaded. And you know what? A lot of these people around here, they wear, not so nice clothes to church because that's all they can afford. But by golly, they come to this restaurant because it's a thing to do after church. What does that say? We're trying to be a community, not a thorn in people's side. Okay, so, all right, I'm done. I hope you have a great day. And remember, if you happen to try looking out the window and it becomes a mirror because you have got a problem like this, really stop to think, what can you do to make it better? Oh, and P.S., my waitress is a top-notch gem. Her name is Jen. Oh, what a doll. I want you to know that if you figured out which restaurant this is, you go and you ask for Jen. And you tip her well. She'll take such good care of you, it's pathetic. Okay, so I'm signing out. I love you all. And always remember, be humble and be joyful and be rapture ready. Bye.